Sign up for a free membership at LEARN.BA to take the first 6 lessons of the BA Blocks program completely free of charge. BA Blocks, brought to you by LEARN.BA.
So today I want to talk to you about the concept called process variation. And so if you're a business process analyst, especially if you're trying to become a business process analyst, this is a key concept that you need to understand, because it's one of the things that as a process analyst, it's one of the issues that you're going to be encountering on a regular basis as you're starting to do your work as the person inside the company that does the process design for the company. So I want to talk to you about what process variation is. I want to talk to you about how process variation comes about inside companies. And then thirdly, I'll talk to you about how process variation gets solved inside the company. So let's dive straight into the first question. What is process variation? So basically what tends to happen in companies that grow very quickly is that you'll have the design of the company can happen in a haphazard way. So for example, if you have a company that's, let's say, is 1,000 people and has 4 or 5 divisions, and it grows really quickly to, let's say, 5,000 or 10,000 people within a span of 4 or 5 years, and it has multiple divisions and it becomes very large very quickly. A lot of that type of growth in a lot of companies is usually not managed in a very calculated way. And so what tends to happen inside that one company is that you'll have a lot of different divisions that do the same type of work, but they do it very differently. And essentially what that does is, for the company, it creates a lot of extra costs, because having different ways of doing the same thing for no really good reason at all costs the company a lot of money. And I can explain in another video as to why that is. But essentially what process variation means is that inside the same company, the company has multiple ways of achieving the same goal for no really good reason. So if we were to look at, let's say, for example, an invoicing process. If your company has a division that invoices clients, right, they have a certain set of steps that they go through in order to issue an invoice. Now, if your company grows very quickly and you have multiple divisions who issue invoices independently, they're going to have, chances are that they're going to have different ways of issuing that invoice. So one division might have 4 or 5 steps that they go through, another division might have 10 or 12 steps that they go to, depending on how their invoicing process works. Now, if there's no real good reason for why these 2 divisions are doing things differently, essentially that is what is called process variation, because the company overall has multiple ways of doing the exact same thing. So that's a quick definition of what process variation is that the company is achieving the same goal in different ways for no real good reason at all. Okay, so that is what it is and how it comes about. So let's talk about the third piece, which is how the business process analyst helps to reduce process variation inside a company. So typically when a project is starting to get funded, the scope of the project may or may not include a process component. So if the management of the company has said, we just want a software, a piece of software to be delivered from the project, you're delivering some sort of a product. If they say that we want a more all-encompassing solution, you may be delivering a piece of software, but that is going to also be accompanied by a lot of new business processes that need to be rolled out. And so on the second type of project, typically what the business process analyst does is they're the ones that go through and they do a lot of the as-is process design, and then they'll typically work with a much more senior process engineer, or they'll work with somebody who's a business process analyst but has done a lot of this type of work. They'll work with that type of person to actually design out the to-be process, or the future state processes. And so the goal of that future state process design is really to go across all of the different divisions who are doing the invoicing process differently, for example, and to say we're going to create one unified standard process for how our company issues invoices. And that is basically the process part of what your solution would look like. And so if you're interested in becoming a business process analyst, this is a key concept that you need to understand, because it is essentially the major goal that you're trying to achieve on a lot of the projects that you work on. You'll go inside a company and you'll see that the company is doing the same thing. They're trying to achieve the same goal in multiple different ways for no really good reason. And it is the process of you doing an as-is and then doing a future state or to-be to try to help the company resolve that piece of it. And then you find some way to bridge that with the business systems analyst or the generalist BA on your project to make sure that the solution or the product that they deliver is in line with the process that you've built up. So that's a quick overview. I just wanted to take a minute to explain that concept, and I'll see you on the next video.
The BA Blocks program has been designed specifically to help you understand and overcome the biggest challenges of the BA profession. Sign up for a free membership at LEARN.BA to take the first 6 lessons of the BA Blocks program completely free of charge.